Alright, so now we have question 7 to 13. We want to find the volume using, firstly, we want to use the washer method when the shaded region is revolved about y-axis. So let's see the axis of rotation first. So this is y-axis. So we want to rotate this blue region to about this y-axis. So what happens is that using washer method, we will have first to find the what we call it as outer radius and also inner radius. So obviously that the outer radius is this one because it is very far away from the axis of rotation. So now we have the ry, the outer radius. So this is the outer radius is given by 1 because this is the function. But then we have the inner radius. So the inner radius maybe is given by this blue function, all right? So this is the inner radius. So this inner radius is labeled as r small y, is given by inner radius. So the function comes from this actually, but we want to make it in terms of y. So let's first modify this. So x is equal to y squared over 4. So our function is actually y squared over 4. All right. So now we need to find the, what do we call it as, the square of both the radius, ry squared. So 1 square will be 1. And then we'll have the inner radius square. So we have to ry squared. So it will be y to the power of 4 over 16 because 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So then we can find the volume. All right. So the volume is given by pi integrate outer radius squared minus the inner radius squared. So in this case dy. So the value here should be on y-axis. So let's find the y value here, all right, and here at P and Q. So how to find it? So we know that x equal to 1, intersect with the x equal to y squared over 4. So we know that y squared over 4 will be equal to 1. So y squared equal to 4. Y is actually plus minus square root 4, which is plus minus 2. So we know that it is from negative 2 up to 2. All right. So we can fill it with the negative 2 and 2 here. All right. So what we can do is that we modify this, all right, from negative 2 up to 2. All right. So now we try to insert the values of ry squared. So what happens is that ry squared, this bigger one is 1, come from here, and minus, right, minus this one. So should be y to the power of 4 over 16 dy. And then we can actually perform the integration. So we get the final answer. So now let's see the shell method, all right? The volume, want to find the volume using cylindrical shells when the shaded region is revolved about line y is equal to 2. So from this diagram, we know that line y is equal to 2 is actually here. So this is the axis of rotation, all right? So we want to rotate the shaded region about that axis of rotation. So what we need to do is that we first, for shell method, all right? So we have to determine the radius, all right? So the radius is given by, this is y equal to 2, all right? Since the shaded region is below the, what do we call this, the axis of rotation, so we know that the radius will be, because this is 2, so it will be 2 minus y. If the shaded region is above the axis of rotation, maybe somewhere around here, then the radius would be y minus 2, right? But now the shaded region is below the axis of rotation. So 2 minus y. And then we'll have to find the height of the shaded region. So the height in this case is given by the right minus left. So the right function is given by x equal to 1. So this is function in terms of y. So yx equal to 1. So this is the right function minus the left function is of course this one. So this is the left function, right? So this left function is given by y squared equal to 4x, but we want to make it in terms of y. So we have to make x as the subject. So we'll have y squared over 4. So the left function is actually y squared over 4. Okay, so now we already have the radius and also the height. So we can substitute into the formula for volume using shell method. It's given by 2 pi integrate from where to where, we'll see later. So we'll first see radius multiply with the height. So in this case, in terms of y, so it will be dy. So to fill in with the values here must be taken from the y-axis. All right, so from y-axis, which is from here is stated as from negative 2 until 2. So it's given by negative 2 until 2. So we can now substitute with the values, with the functions. For radius is given by 2 minus y, put it in bracket. Multiply with the height is given by 1 minus y squared over 4 dy. And then we'll have to simplify this function before we integrate it, all right? So we'll get 2 minus y squared over 2 minus y plus y to the power of 3 over 4 dy. All right, and then we have to perform the integration, and then we got the final answer. Thank you.